Okay, so this is a live to talk about. I've entered a competition. Bustin' Rhymes is going to be the mentor. I don't know what the situation is, but we are going to give it a try with the track that I just produced. I'm sure that there are lots of things that I should consider doing, but I had no time, so this was it was so fast. I mean, I produced it I set it up in a week. There's no vocals yet. I had to upload it right away. I just want to see the message quickly that I got. Started following you. No, that's old. Is there anything in the mail? Okay. I think everything is in place. I just uploaded the track uploaded the new track onto my, let me just see, distribution. So what's interesting about SoundCloud is SoundCloud actually is as probably lots of things you can do on here. It's one of the older ways to distribute your music besides all the other things that they have now. It's an older platform. I personally like SoundCloud because I've used it ever since it came out. I haven't necessarily worked on it consistently, like for all my life, because for years I was doing other jobs and positions and all that stuff. I'm a very casual day today. Sorry about all this crazy stuff that's going on. So the information I'm going to be, the competition details are on the link from the other day's live, and I've also posted that on the on the front video, on the first video, so you can always link there. I would very much appreciate it if people voted for me. The voting is free on Facebook as a one-off vote a day. Hi, is that Ronco? How are you, Ronco? Oh no, Real Perks. Hi, sorry. I just saw the R and I assumed it was like Ronco. Nice to meet you. I basically just produced a track that I kind of put together on a live or lives, and now I've entered it into a competition. I have no idea. It's literally like a week's worth. Siva. Hi guys. Oh, did you enter yours as well? What did you do? I'm from the United States. I'm in the States right now. Yeah. So there's a competition, and I suppose anybody can enter. But the cutoff point is basically today, like in an hour, and you're supposed to go in and vote. I hope you guys vote for a female, because I think more female producers need to be out there. I've been doing music ever since I was, ever since I was 3 in Japan. So composition is part of like what I do. My mom was an opera singer. My sister's a live performer in South Africa. She works with a couple of really interesting people over there. And I just happen to want to do my own thing. I mean, I've worked with other producers and stuff, but I was like, nah, I'd like to do this on my own because I think I have the skills and the qualifications to do this. So you guys can see, I'll play the track. I just put it up on SoundCloud. I'll play the track for you. It's from yesterday's live. I still have to do vocals, but they said I can go ahead and add the vocals in, like, on another track later on. So I might kind of work on the vocals like now, if you know what I mean. I thought it was going to be interesting to do it on a scale where people could actually see somebody making the track. versus just putting the track out and saying, oh, I produced it. It's probably more interesting to see the construction and develop. That's why I've done this channel in the first place, is that I thought it was important to have a channel that would open that door of discussion on a live to watch the production side of things. I mean, I could always ask people to listen to their tracks and all that stuff, but I think other channels do that. I think it's important to show people how production is done on lives. I was teaching at Guitar Center. I taught at Buck to Rock. I've been in bands before in the past. So I have, and at 44, I'm 44. So I'm over, like, I'm sure all the younger people are now applying for these things, but I'm like over 40. So I'm Gen X. And I'm like, it's about time that our generation as females had a say in music as well, because for a long time we were held back. We were kind of kept in the dark, and you don't back then you don't see too many female producers, You hear of singers working with other producers, but in our generation there was no producer. There were maybe a few, maybe a handful, but very, very few were able to kind of like bypass like the guy stuff. So it's it's just how it is. Yeah, that's what happened. So I've been through that. Oh no, I have to do with a male producer. And I was like, I don't need this. I could do this myself. So I built everything up myself. And that was important. I thought that there was a need to, and I've had other students, female students, who were like, we really like production, but we don't know where to go. So I'd always guide them through the process. I think it's probably a good thing to learn. Anybody can do it. It's a good skill to have, especially on social media. And it's not, now it's more accessible for people or globally. I mean, it just depends on where you are. If you don't have access to things like the internet too well, then you're going to have a bit of a problem uploading the tracks onto platforms like SoundCloud. Let me play you what I've just, and what's nice about SoundCloud, like for me, sometimes I get like, they mix and master on their, so once you upload it, you can mix in like quick little thing. It's probably not perfect, but yeah. So I just uploaded this. Can you hear that? I should probably, I'll make it a little bit louder. So I just put it on SoundCloud. Okay, so that's, I think I entered 3 tracks. Some of them are much older that I've like entered, which are just much, much older. And one of them I don't have the parts to anymore because it's that old. But it's sort of like a high-tech, like house track type of thing that I produced in South Africa when I was there. I had actually produced a few tracks for Big Brother Africa, and I think 1 or 2 of them actually got on the show. So I remember filling out the forms and signing the contract and all that stuff. The guy in charge of it was named Sansa. So I know the music industry in South Africa. I just wasn't prepared to stay there, and I thought, well, it's important for me to move back from South Africa to the United States because I'm half American, half South African, and my mom is mixed. And I was like, you know what? Like, women's rights here are so much better than a lot of the other countries. I feel as if I can move forward in the music industry a little bit more. in a situation like this. So I was always pushed back. This is my story of being like a woman in the industry. I was always pushed back and said you can't do it. And I was like, you know what? Of course I can. The problem is, will you be willing to accept the fact that I'm a female who wants to do it like the same way you guys are producing and Sony and all that stuff? So it's just been how it's just how it is in the industry. It's just I've personally experienced it on so many levels with other producers who are always males that it was, and they're much older. They're like in their like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and these are guys that like paved the way in the production and the music industry overseas in South Africa. That I was like, you know what, I'm sort of like done with this. It's time for a change. And this is why I'm back here building this up, developing it. Thank goodness I worked in like a music store, so I was able to get all these things together. This is a lot of work, time, painstaking moments, but I do believe that we can do it as females, and I am doing it, which is the point of why I'm doing it in the first place. Hello, I am pickle hoopla plapa. Okay, I'll just say, oh, thank you, much appreciated. I actually put it together myself. Why do you like it? It took me a while to figure out. I made the paintings, I did the soundproofing. The only thing I didn't make were the speakers. I have a mic there. It's with all my clothing and stuff, but it's a bit messy over there. I've split the space up into two. I have one side is fashion, the other side is music, so I do both. I think lately I've been working a little bit more on the music, which is okay. I am an artist indeed. The piece in the back there is my painting. I actually got my art degree. And I use my music through my art degree. So that's what basically happened. And luckily I did take art because I don't think I'd be able to make the soundproofing if I didn't learn how to build things. So building is a big factor of what I do. That's why I think there's a chance that a woman can be in charge of a recording studio because, you know, if you've learned the basic skills of construction and design, you don't necessarily need to ask for advice. And also we have AI, right? So AI becomes like this huge thing on, like globally now. Our whole lives are based off of AI. I don't know if it's easier or if it's made it too easy. I think on some occasions it's made it a little too easy. So yeah, so what it is I'm entering a competition. We have 1 hour left, maybe 45 minutes left before voting begins. It would be very nice if you guys could vote for the one piece that I just played you guys. It's on SoundCloud. I'd be absolutely honored. One vote free a day. What is interesting would be for, it's an introduction to Rolling Stones and making a little bit of history, and also Bustin' Rhymes, if you win, is going to be the mentor. So this is going to be like, I think it's a pretty big thing, but I think it's a lot of, I honestly think, my personal opinion, you're gonna have more guys going in there producing and coming up with the tracks quickly, rather than like, so even if you're in a band, I think on most of occasions, there's going to be a guy behind the scene doing the production. In my case, I'm coming in by myself on my own with my own production and my own setup and my own equipment. So I'm like the whole, let's switch it around. I've been in bands, it gets complicated. I'm like, you don't really need a band these days. You can literally just go in and produce your own stuff, which is what I have done. And that is why I am doing this, because I was like, I have a chance to just be myself. Like, there's no reason to put on a front. There's no reason to, I don't know, like when I moved from South Africa, I didn't have a band. I mean, I had a band when I was there and they said, please stay. And I was like, no, I don't want to stay because I'm not comfortable in South Africa anymore. So I moved back without the band. They were very mad at me because I was composing pieces for the band, right? And there are some songs on YouTube of me performing with the band on like in their like garages and stuff. So that was like, that's more or less where I come from, where I've been. We did a small little video. I think the video was better than the actual audio. The audio hadn't worked that well. And then I came back and reproduced the particular piece that's on my SoundCloud right now. So I'm an oldie. And I feel as if an oldie needs to be part of the whole new retro feel of the changes, the changes of what's going on in the industry. And don't forget, we had that whole thing on Puffy. Can you believe? I even had a whole discussion. I was like, Puffy, and then R. Kelly. I was like, this is why women need to stand up for themselves, because we don't need the industry saying this is what you have to do in order to become blah, 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 blah. Like, there's no need for that anymore. You have the access now to do it on your own and to make it. And that is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I feel as if it just needs to change. It's time for a change. It's time for people to acknowledge that society doesn't need to go through those loops anymore. And mind you, I have gone through loops myself, and it's very stressful because, yeah, you don't know if you're coming or going. That's basically it. Oh, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for popping over. I appreciate it. Okay, I need to work on, let me just hear, I need to go through this quickly. The production side of things. Have a great day, folks. I'm just, yeah, just to set up. Yeah, I've just entered a competition, and I'm older. I'm like probably older than most producers that are happening now who are producing the newer tracks and the new pieces. So I feel as if, as somebody who is a little bit older, this is the version that's on my Logic I was busy working on. So you can hear it. I'll put it in the background. I have to think of... So this is the track, well, I've entered 5 tracks, in theory. I've entered 5 tracks. One of them should have been vocals, but I didn't add the vocals in. This was done in a week. This is a week's worth of work. So I think if I had more time to really assess it, I probably would have had more time to put more stuff up or on. Sometimes, this is what I hear. Sometimes if you're really under pressure, the best stuff comes out. That's like, best stuff comes out of pressure. Just like if you're making a beautiful piece of glass sculpture, that glass sculpture is going to come out very well if it's put under pressure and heated on a very extensive amount of time. Same thing applies for a piece of music. If you're under pressure and you're stressed out and there's anxiety and there's emotion, sometimes those pieces turn out to be the best. Or, yeah, that's my experience. I have to be underneath complete stress to come up with the most amazing pieces, because that's how life works. I have other pieces as well that I've produced. So this is nothing new for me. I'm not a newbie in here. I've been working on music since I was maybe 5 or 6. Composition. Okay. So I'm coming in by myself. I'm my own producer, let's put it that way, and I built my own space. So let me know if you guys are interested to know a little bit more about me. The information is on, I'll probably put it on this live as well. But I entered a competition. I'm going to be repeating this for a little bit. Joshua Subeller on the piano. Well, this is one of them. This is the track that I just produced. It took me a week to do. So this is the track I produced. I have other ones on SoundCloud. You guys are welcome to take a listen to the other tracks. So I don't do Spotify because Spotify has been complicated for the past couple of months now. And I'm like, I'm glad that I didn't put anything on there because I'm a SoundClouder. I like my SoundCloud. I've been using SoundCloud since SoundCloud has been out. I don't know, I think 2004, maybe 2003. I'm an oldie, hey. I'm not like a kid. I don't even have makeup on right now. I've had a long day trying to prepare for this thing, so it's been a little stressful on my side. Yeah, you can hear all my music on my channel. If you go through all my videos, I have 700 and something videos. They're plenty videos. Today, yeah, okay, without the makeup, guess how old I am? I'd like to hear what you guys think. Because people always get it wrong. I'm like, no. Let's put it this way, I'm a Gen X. I like to say that because now it's like a Gen X is like, I was born in 1979. So if you're younger, you're like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, I'm old. And some people are a little bit older, which is good, so I can like relax, right? It all depends on who comes in and out of this live. I see a couple of people coming in that are different ages, which is kind of cool. So yeah, so the information is on there. I have 700 and something videos. See how much work I've put together on this? This is another track. I have plenty. I have so many sometimes. I haven't even uploaded half them on SoundCloud. I've actually taken them down because on many occasions I'm like, I don't know if that was good enough. So I just take it down sometimes and I just kind of leave it without moving. I play these all the time on my lives. Why? Because they're copyright free and then we don't have any issues with people complaining about. That's a really old one. I produced this in 12 years ago. I produced that one 12 years ago. But I don't have the parts anymore because when I left South Africa, that's all that I had left. Glad I copied it and published it on SoundCloud. That's why sometimes uploading things is usually a good thing because you don't have to walk around with CDs anymore. I used to make things out of CDs. I'd burn my own CDs with my tracks and I'd hand them out to like producers and I'd say, what do you think about this? What do you think about? And then it just got so expensive. This is so much easier. Like putting it on, it's so much easier. I don't know if I like the CD thing. I'm like, I'm done with CDs. Red cap. Oh, you mean this? Yeah, no, it's my. I'm actually charging my phone. I'm recording on my phone. And this is my speaker, my mic. So this helps me, right? If it's without this, then it's a bit of a problem. It's Bluetooth, so you guys are like, you wouldn't be able to hear me if it wasn't Bluetooth. So I produced this. Okay, so that's the extent of what I can do if I really wanted to put my mind to it. I also put this in for the application too, the voting. So I have 5 pieces that I put in. This is one of them. The first one was the other. Oh, I'm doing okay. Oh, hi. Sorry. I was trying to figure out the red cap. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired today. My apologies. If you have time to vote for me, that would be absolutely wonderful. So every day till about September, I'm supposed to be running against other producers. I'm hoping to partake in it because I feel as if a solo producer, act, whatever you want to call it, can be involved in this, then the music industry is going the right direction because it's not just working in groups, it's not just dealing with, oh, my name. It's okay. Yeah, I know. Oh, your name. Mazi? Mazi. Or Madi. Madi or Mazi. I keep forgetting it's either a Z or a D. Yeah. I think it's Madi with a D, right? I could be wrong again. Yeah, my memory sometimes is it's a bit fickle. It's old age. It's called old age. Yeah, so you can, yes, I knew it. I was like, Mozzie was the first one I said. Thank goodness I said the Z instead of the D. Yeah, Mozzie. And then I said Madi with the D, and then I went back to Mozzie. Exactly. That's what I said. So yeah, it's interesting. So this is the other. This is just a little bit of a longer track. Usually a quality track is only about 4 minutes long, or a little under 4 minutes. But from what I remember learning with production back in the day, it was always about a 4-minute track, beginning, middle, and end. Melody, harmony, keep it simple. So that's what we're dealing with right now. If you have a moment and you have time, I think the voting starts in, let me get my iPad quickly. Where is my iPad? So the voting begins soon. Let me show you the page if you guys are interested to check out where to find it. I did put the link down below. Give me a moment to get into it. Okay. And I think, I think somebody over 40. Oh gosh. Never mind, I have to do it through my phone. Because now I have to log in and all that stuff. So I have the link. The link is actually on, it's on yesterday's video. And then I also placed it on the very first video. So I don't know, what do you guys think of the music? Do you like the music? This isn't the track. Well, this is one of the tracks. This is a very old track. The one that I am putting up. This one is it. This is the one I was producing, hey? I think I played this. Okay, so this is the one I just produced. So you guys watch me produce this, hey? And that's why I'm putting it up, because there's proof of me doing it, okay? And I think it's important for people to see the development of a project and a developed process of production, because it's not just about the final, it's about how you got there. Yeah, this is a good track. I agree. I think it's because it feels more complete, and you guys have watched me do it. There's like a whole beginning, middle, and end, which I feel very confident about. I was going to put vocals on. They said, no, just send it in. My initial plan is probably to, once I'm finished with this, get off and start doing the vocals, because I can't function and focus on talking to you guys while I'm doing the vocal parts. Yeah. I think this has a possibility. This has a possible chance. Among all these other young people, I feel as if this might, there's something there. I felt the same way. I feel like there's something there. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to get off yet, but I do feel, thank you. It's a lot of work. My husband's like, yeah, he's still debating about the music. I was like, this is my life. If I don't have music in my life, I get depressed. People's therapy is a little bit, we were talking about the purpose of music. Hi, Epic Games. How are you? Please vote for me. This is the track that's being, I put 4 up, but I think this is a good, I don't want to take the other ones down. I just feel as if people need to see the progression of the tracks, which is why I put those up. And it will help, because the whole point of me doing this in the first place is not just for myself, but I want to start a recording studio that's like, it's a good studio for global concepts. Like we were having a discussion, Mazi and I were having a discussion on India, and the other day we were talking about cybersecurity, and Egypt, and my goodness, everything. The whole point of myself doing this, like I said, I enjoy doing the YouTube thing because I'm meeting people from around the world. My plan was to develop something that could be a global, like help people from around the world develop like music. And I know that they're like recording studios that do it, like Sony, but they're big. Like, and most of them are run by men, right? So you need a female in there to put their foot down and say, hey, this is needed. Like, we need to protect the women and the children. Like, we need to really do this to help the youth, you know? I don't feel as if it should just be for production purposes. I think it's for people's well-being and safety, and respecting others from all over the place. It could be a rapper, it could be a classical musician, it could be a electronic musician, it could be a female that wants to learn to produce. I never had that. Like, I didn't have anybody I can say, I'd like to learn from a female producer, because it didn't exist when I grew up. It didn't exist. So I feel as if sometimes it's important to have one or two people that can help in that. This is an old one. You guys watch me record this too. So that's the whole reason why I'm doing this. I feel, you know, and it's not like, ooh, I want to be cool. It's like somebody needs to go in there and understand the business structure of how things work. It's not just the music. It's behind, like, the work that people don't want to do. Unfortunately, I can do it. It's just a lot of work that goes behind the scene. And people always assume, oh yeah, you can just, but you have to remember there are bills to pay, and you need to maintain the electricity. All of these things matter. All of this matters when you come up with a recording studio. It all matters. Saving costs, so when you're building something, consider building it yourself like I do. You're saving money by learning how to do things on your own. There's like a whole process. I even wrote a proposal about this discussion. So we'll see what happens. I feel like it's definitely needed. What do you think of this track? I think not as much. I think the first track was pretty good. So what are you guys up to today? What's your whole thing? I have to go in and check on. I have to check on some stuff. Yeah. Are you guys wanting to see me continue working on the track? Yeah, I think this track has a good chance. I think that this is something. I'll play it again so you guys can. And if you do use SoundCloud, don't forget the SoundCloud actually can, if you want to do it fast, mix and master for you, like, very quickly. I suppose the whole concept is, maybe they use AI now, I'm not sure, to mix and master. But it's on SoundCloud. You guys can check it out. I'm going to put the link on that for where to vote. Then you can hear a little bit of my story as to what I've written down. Let me go on to my. Yeah, I think there's a chance. I mean, I think there's a little more I probably could have done, but in a week I think it wasn't bad. Okay, let me go into my YouTube from here. And then I'll show you where I put the link if you're interested. Oh, this is my other channel. Switch accounts. Yes, please. Oh, no, I don't want to add the new account then. Never mind. Gmail. Ugh, leave it for now. I would have to pull it out and everything. You see, it mix and masters on you. You obviously have to pay a little bit of money, but yeah, it generally 4 days ago. Yeah, that's old. Any messages? Oh, that was something else. Okay. So that's just the general idea. I can play a little bit of piano just to, I use music as my form of therapy as well as art. So going back into the whole concept of Madi was saying, Mazi said, oh, like it is definitely a form of therapy. Definitely, 100%. No question about it. For me, it's helped me through some very difficult times myself. I am a survivor. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what kind of things I've survived, but I am definitely 100% a survivor. It's almost like I've been through a war and came out alive, remarkably came out alive. So I am very lucky to be alive today. And I think if it wasn't for my music, I think I probably would not have made it. So my music has been my survival mechanism. So when you're going through a rough time, using your art becomes a very helpful tool to get over things and to move forward in a direction you can handle. So that is why I do my art still, and I'm never going to give it up because this is my life and this is what saved me. Okay? My music and my art saved me. It saved me. So if it's happened to me, it can definitely do the same for others, and it is a form of therapy. So that's where I am right now. It's going to be a real quick day. I've played some of the pieces that I've composed in the past already. Plenty of things. So, great. And then all these have actually had production on top of it, but they're older, and sometimes it's good to always keep producing newer stuff because if you don't produce new stuff, then your mind doesn't like expand. Because music is like an expansion of your brain still is growing. I still think it grows after a certain amount of, you know, the more you put in there, the stronger it gets. It's a muscle, it's the strongest muscle in your body. So you have to keep giving it stuff to feed on, or else you don't, people get Alzheimer's and they lose their memory. I'm losing my memory all the time as I get older. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm just doing it as, people say, why do you do music? It's because I grew up in it, and my mom was an opera singer, and she didn't always have the opportunities when she grew up because she was mixed. And being somebody of a mixed background back in the day, it was very hard to kind of make a point. So it's a very the world is interesting. You did, yeah, it's not, it's just not an easy, it's just, especially women. We have it harder than, yeah, harder than guys do. It's so frustrating. So when you say I did too, what do you mean by I did too? You mean musically, or, oh, you mean family background? Or you also come from a family background of musicians? That's great. I enjoy hearing people's stories. I really do because, sometimes I think it's just me that's gone through this, but I think there are a lot more people that have had musical backgrounds. For me, it's just been my whole life. So every time I stop, I'm like, something's wrong. There's like, I feel off. Something. So every time I stop, I know it always goes wrong. The moment I start working on my music again, it always feels like everything is put back together. The pieces are always put back together, probably because it's just ingrained in me now. So yeah, it's just one of those things. I just applied for a thing. If people are interested, asking to vote for the track that I've just published or produced and placed on SoundCloud, uh, which I literally did an hour ago, and I produced it in a week, which is ridiculous because, like, how can a track really be complete in a week? I don't think it's 100% complete, but I think it's enough to feel like it's completed in the sense of a composition. The vocals I was going to work on today, I haven't completely done that yet. So that's where I am right now. I think the vocals need to be added somewhere. But the piano, I think, is the emotional content, right? I think it's important to have a piano understanding because that is my forte, right? So this is my other piece. So that's another piece. I actually composed that for my masters. I have three pieces I composed for my masters, and so this was one of them. And I know that in modern music and like hip hop and R&B, they simplify they simplify the piano. So you'll have just like chord progressions, right? Just quick like 3 or 4 notes. Yeah, you have three. You like the. Let's do this. No, I can't play it. If I play it, it might get flagged on the internet, so I can't. I reconstructed the Houdini song, and they're literally like 3 chords that Eminem has used to create the track. And I'm like, yeah, if you analyze all the pieces, it's simpler. I do like the fact that he had an orchestral like background in like the beginning of his track, like when he performs it live. That is so cool. But as you hear the piece, like they fade away, and it's literally like 3 chords. So when producing stuff, I need to remember you have to simplify. You have to simplify it so, you know, when you have, for instance, a rapper or a singer or whatever it is that you're trying to do, has that space to experiment with, because the whole point is for the vocals to be like the leading force, right? It's not always just the piano playing, but I do feel as if you need to have a little bit of musical, like, chord progression and composition training to get to the point of realizing start complex and then simplify it, because that's the way to go. Who is your dad? Who's your dad? I don't get it. What do you mean by that? I love. Very confused as to what you're saying. May I ask? If you can explain that a little bit more, that'd be great. I think you guys know this. Yeah. Charles? Well, that's great. I'm glad that you like your dad, but that doesn't even apply to the discussion we're having right now. So, yeah. Oh, you were that kid that said WTF. Yes, I do remember that. I need to work on the chords, not the chords, the melody. So I've worked with jazz musicians as well. I studied a little bit at Duke Ellington, which was really after school, and then I had some really pretty amazing jazz musician teachers back when, like, privately. So I studied, like, lots of different things. And I do think if you're going to be a good composer or a producer, you have to know the basic songs that have paved the way for new music. And I sometimes think I question some of the music that's out there because it's not, there's no, like, the depth of the composition disappears on many occasions because it's always so simplified. So I think it's important, you know, if you're going to be doing music, focus on also trying to find good quality songs to play or to sing, because it does make a difference in people's lives when you're, if in the end that is what you want to do and produce, like myself. I like to produce. I mean, you know, the reason why I haven't, it's quite simple. The males have taken over the industry and the females always fall back. So that's what has happened here. Is I'm a good example of why progress has never happened in the generation I was in. I'm from the 80s. I was born in the 70s, and I have watched everything pass. Technology has moved. Life has changed on Earth. I've seen it. I've seen it to experience enough to know that there are lots of things that still need to change in society. So that's where I am right now. So if you guys don't mind, I'm probably going to keep this short and sweet. I'll give it a few more minutes. I like being on here for an hour and entertaining a little bit, right? If you don't mind going in and voting, I'll put the link on this as well. I'm going to try to be on here daily because I happen to like doing stuff on here with you guys, and then I get the videos out of the way, and then I can do the rest of my stuff that I have to do during the day. So yeah. So when you compose a piece, you know, you have to know obviously what key signature you're dealing with first before you actually jump into anything. So it's just a short and sweet day, and yeah, you guys got a chance to see some stuff worked on. I did not do the vocals as I said I was going to do, which I must do now. But I will not do it in front of people because I think I need that time to kind of manifest the vision. And then you might see the byproduct of the completed vocals. And since I'm producing everything myself, I don't have a team. You guys might be the team here. You might be sitting and watching me like I'm getting assessed by you guys. That's important. For me, that's a big deal. Because I don't have people that I work with. I am it. I am the only person that I work with. So it's different when you're in a band and you have like 10,000 people like saying, okay, change that up and record that differently and add this to that part over there and maybe add a bit more guitar, maybe some more drums in that area. When you're doing it by yourself, you have to kind of assess it on your own, and I do think that being in a band, it has helped me figure out, and I was a drummer at one point too, helped me figure out what works best in certain areas. So that's basically it. Okay, folks, I'm gonna love you and leave you here because I feel like I need to get more done. I haven't been on my other platforms today, so I need to get on my other platforms and start moving to get that together. Feel free to reach out. The biggest thing you guys can do right now is to subscribe, like, and share the videos out if you can. And then also vote for me for this competition because I would very much appreciate it. And I hope you guys are learning something from this channel because I feel as if I'm not just here to show my skills, but more of an educational channel, like helping people and building up people's like, you know, like get out there and do it, or set it up in your place and do what I'm doing and go live on social media. That's also okay. This is something that was not existent when I was growing up. We didn't have social media to go live on. So I'm going live because I was like, well, this is easy to do. No problem there. Can't complain. That's perfectly organized now, so everything is set up accordingly. So yeah. Let me play the piece one more time so you guys can hear it. I did put other songs up, but I feel like this is the song. This is the piece. And I want to work on the vocals because I have seconds left to make sure I give the right impression. Right impression to... Okay. That's the new piece. One more time. I don't see any problems with it. By now they would have said, yeah, it's an original piece. And the only way you can upload a track is if it's original. So you have to make sure if you're going to do music, make sure all your music is original music or else it will not be allowed on the internet. Simple as that. It has to be your own music. Do you think it has a little bit of a... Yeah, I like this piece. I don't usually say that about my pieces, but I do like this piece. Yeah, there's some parts there that are not great. I want to clean it up though. Yeah, I really don't know what I'm competing with. I have no idea what the other music is going to sound like. Hi, oh, you speaking Nihongo, I can see. Genki, I'm Genki. Watashi no Genki desu. Arigatou gozaimashita. Yes, I am Genki. How are you doing? I'm just talking about the track that I just produced and I put on SoundCloud. I've put it into a competition today. It's going to start. I think it's still about September. And then every day, if people could help me just vote, that would be wonderful. I have the link for so when you go onto my profile on YouTube, you can watch the first video, and underneath the first video, the introduction video, I've put the link there. And then I'm also on Facebook. So I think if you're on Facebook, you could also get 1 free vote a day, which would be super helpful. You guys would be awesome, because the whole point of this is to grow and potentially see everybody that I speak to on here, like in person, It would be nice, I mean, if it was safe and stuff. But I want to build this into a studio where everybody feels comfortable and happy and it's safe for everybody. That was the whole point of my doing this. Hello, yes. Konnichiwa, is that right? Ko? No, that's not ko, that's peku, peku, peku. Oh my gosh, my hiragana is so out of context now. I can't even. I'm good though. How many languages do you speak, Leonard, again? I completely forgot. I'm sure you said 10. I'm pretty sure of it. We have you understand the language barriers. And then you also have AI that does it too, right? AI can translate for you. It's so fantastic. Who would have thought we'd be speaking to a bot for the rest of our lives? Like, I find myself speaking to the bot when I'm asking questions in Japanese, and it's like, oh, this is the answer. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you, arigato. And then it like answers, do itashimashita, and I'm like, oh no, it actually spoke to me. It's kind of cool though. It's cool that AI actually has gotten to that point of communication, you know. So yeah. So I'm not going to stay on much longer. German, yes, yes, yes. Yeah, that's a lot. And a little bit of Chinese, my goodness. So are you going to be like, what is your goal for like as you grow up? Are you going to be the translator? What is your goal plan? I mean, that would be so cool. You could totally be a translator, but then again, AI would also take that job too. So I don't know. This world, what have we come to? It's like it has been taken over by bots officially. Officially. We have to still keep ourselves together, guys. We still need to be like the people, you know. That's so awesome you speak all those languages. Yeah, I'm a little tired because I've been preparing and putting the pages up for the votes and all that stuff. I don't think you need to pay to do the voting. I think it's just being consistent and trying to vote daily. I don't know if I can vote for myself, but yeah, I just feel as if there needs to be more women who are um, not just DJs, but people who can put like a business together. Because a studio is not just, oh, let's record and produce. It's like the whole story behind it is to understand the back end. Are you good with budgeting? Are you good with creating proposals? Can you hire a person in a particular area, and do you understand the skills enough to teach a person how to do that? That's my thing. Music is wonderful, but it's also a business. So you have to see past the composition and past the production, but understanding the business perspective of a recording studio, because that's my plan. The plan is to build a recording studio, you know, where people feel confident and comfortable and happy and helpful, and they feel as if they're getting the help that they're looking for, because it's not just about, oh, I can produce music. It's about, have I helped you? Speaking 10 languages. And what are you going to do with speaking once you get to the speaking 10 languages? Like reading and writing 10 languages. That's like that's like madness. Like, that is amazing, but that is madness. That is on a whole different level. Like, is it a business reason? Is there a reason why you're doing this? Are you wanting to do businesses in like 10 different countries? Is that the plan? I mean, that would be really cool if that's the plan. That's an absolutely brilliant vision. Brilliant, because we all need somebody who can translate business structured. Even, I hate to say it, but politically, you probably do need like somebody going in and translating stuff for government people. I don't know. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking. So I'm not, yeah, so that's like a whole thing. I think language is definitely a very, very good direction. My dad was a political science major. That means he got the job in the embassy where people would ask him to go to different countries, and those countries would say, before you come to our country, you need to speak this language. And he'd hit the books, and the books would be like, okay, Japanese. So he would do full on fluent Japanese, pass the examinations, flying colors. And that's how we landed up in different countries, is because he was a very smart man when it came down to languages. He was good at languages. I'm okay. I think my dad still speaks Japanese fluently, which is amazing. And maybe a bit of Afrikaans, I don't know. I can't say exactly. But yeah, that's basically how life is, right? That's just how it's been going. So I'm not going to be on too much longer. I need to, the voting begins. I'm panicking. Guys, please vote for me. I'm in absolute state of panic right now. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. but it has begun. So now the test is on. I'm sweating. Like I'm so nervous. And it's funny because I was just like, let me just produce this track. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, and then this thing showed up. It's like competition, music. I was like, oh, I have nothing to lose. Let's give it a go. So I'm like, okay, let's just see what's going on. And I got in, and I was like, that's cool. Now we have to build up. So that's the next phase. Okay, folks, I'm going to have to love you and leave you guys. You're amazing. Please vote. I will put the voting information on here. It starts, I think, now. So, yeah, I need as much help as possible because the goal in the end is to help people with understanding a business side of music. It's not just thus. It's a business. If it's done properly, it could turn out to be an absolute amazing. It's a lot of work, but business is hard. It's not easy. It's not a game. It's an introduction to growth, right? As we get older, we have more responsibilities, and business is the way forward. Okay, thank you guys. Arigatou gozaimashita. Matashita sayonara. And jane bye-bye. Thank you so much, guys. Matashita. Arigato. Bye.